While every other fashion brand waited months to stock shelves, Zara's factories were already making clothes that didn't exist 2 weeks prior. In the 1970s, the apparel industry worked like clockwork, slow, predictable clockwork. A designer sketched a trend in Paris. 6 months later, factories in Asia cut and sewed. Another month passed before containers arrived at ports. By then, the trend was already fading. Zara's founder Amancio Ortega saw this lag and asked a question nobody else bothered to ask. What if we made clothes in weeks, not seasons? Here's the trick: Zara didn't outsource manufacturing to the cheapest labor market. They built factories in Spain and Portugal, expensive places. But they kept design, production, and logistics in-house. When a store manager texted headquarters that a color was selling out, that information hit the factory floor within hours. And here's where the money actually moved. While competitors paid for massive warehouses, Zara paid for speed. The math was counterintuitive. Labor costs were higher, shipping was local, so margins looked thinner on paper. But Zara's inventory turned over in weeks. Competitors held stock for months, absorbing markdowns when trends shifted. Zara marked down almost nothing. They made what sold, not what they hoped would sell. That inventory velocity, the speed at which goods moved from factory to fitting room, became their competitive advantage. By the 1990s, Zara was opening stores across Europe. Their supply chain wasn't just fast, it was responsive. A store in Milan reported that women wanted longer hemlines. 2 weeks later, longer hemlines appeared in stores across the continent. Competitors were still executing designs from planning meetings 6 months old. The gap widened. Zara's stores were always fresh. Customers returned weekly because new inventory arrived constantly. The industry called what Zara built fast fashion, but that label missed the point. It wasn't about speed for speed's sake. It was about information flow. Traditional brands moved information slowly: design committees, buyer meetings, quarterly reviews. Zara flattened that hierarchy. Store data fed directly into production decisions. Feedback loops that took competitors a season took Zara 2 weeks. By the early 2000s, Zara's parent company Inditex was opening stores globally while maintaining the same responsive model. They didn't just copy the supply chain, they embedded it into culture. Designers weren't penalized for mistakes because mistakes surfaced in weeks, not seasons. Failure was cheap and fast. Learning was continuous. That structural advantage compounded for decades. So what actually disrupted the apparel industry? Not technology, not lower wages. Zara disrupted it by asking where money was being wasted in holding inventory, in long lead times, in guessing what customers wanted 6 months out. They eliminated waste by shrinking the feedback loop. The money they saved on markdowns funded faster expansion. The cash compounded. Every other fashion brand eventually tried to copy Zara's model, but they'd already built their supply chains. Ripping those out meant writing off billions in infrastructure. Zara had built theirs from scratch with speed as the first principle, not an afterthought. That's why they won, not because they were smarter, because they were willing to build differently from the ground up. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to follow the money through the next brand that rewrote its industry's rules. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.